Days, it has been clear this process was never going to come to a conclusion before Boris Johnson and Ursula von der Leyen had spoken.
There is a chance deal can be done in the next few days, but I think crucially there needs to be some kind of political intervention to get this over the line. I think the big issues of level playing field in fisheries have been known for some time, and it does feel a bit as if the negotiators are going round in circles somewhat.
Pausing the talks at this critical juncture was always going to be a big warning sign. Much hangs now on tomorrow's telephone conversation. Sam Coates, Sky News.
Now, it will be the biggest immunisation programme in living memory, and now it's confirmed it will start on Tuesday. Across the UK, nurses are being trained to vaccinate hundreds of thousands of the most vulnerable. But there are already signs that the government's ambitious target of immunising more than 40 million people by next spring may not be met. Our health correspondent Ashish Joshi reports from University Hospital Coventry, where staff are preparing for a huge logistical challenge.
My name is May Parsons and I'm going to be giving you the vaccination today.
This is a practice run.
To confirm that you have consented to this vaccine? Yes, I have.
But in a few days, this hospital will begin a vaccination programme unlike any undertaken before.
Here, where the deltoid muscle is.
Nursing staff are being trained and tested. Priority lists for the first recipients have been drawn up.
We expect quite quickly to go up to about 400 a day, and then beyond that 500 and above. And we're putting plans in place already. We're starting to plan if we need to increase that, where do we go next? We're making every effort to ensure that we respond to the priority list. So over 80s, those people who are residents in care home staff and then NHS staff.
The staff here are well drilled with mass vaccinations like the flu jab. But this is different.
I'd say it's almost the scale that you have to deliver the vaccine at. We've obviously delivered the flu vaccine every single year, but we are now having to deliver at a much faster pace. We would usually deliver flu vaccination over a number of months. This is a very quick rollout. So it's about making sure that we can continue to deliver at that pace without dropping off at any point.
University Hospital Coventry and Warwickshire NHS Trust is one of 50 regional hubs that will receive the vaccine.
Yes, we have the freezer on site, came a couple of weeks ago.
This Gold Command meeting is making sure everything is in place and to identify which staff should get the vaccine first. Andy is on the list. His wife is expecting their first baby. When he's vaccinated, it will protect all three of them.
I haven't even got ready for fatherhood yet. I think it's going to be of benefit, and I mean, it'll keep her safe, it'll keep the baby safe, I think. And at least if I'm coming home every night after working a shift, I'm not exposing them as much as I could be.
Andy works here in the critical care unit. Tom was one of his patients.
I was absolutely terrified. You know.
Tom is one of the lucky ones. He made it out of here alive. Tom was pretty sick. He spent 5 weeks in hospital, 3 of those in intensive care. He was discharged on the 21st of November. He's back home now, and I'm really keen to see how he's getting on. Hi.
Hello.
How's the recovery?
Slow. I can't walk properly yet. I can walk about 100 yards and then I'm flat out of breath.
Really good to see you, Tom.
It's really good to see you. I didn't think I'd see you. But...
And you're home for Christmas.
And I'm home for Christmas, yeah.
Let's hope that vaccine stops people ending up in intensive care like you did.
Well, that's it, exactly, because it was the worst 5 weeks of my life. I can honestly say that. Bit late for me, but, I don't want anyone to go through what I went through, because it wasn't nice. And it's scary.
The vaccine wasn't ready in time for Tom, but if it works, and it should, then nobody else will have to go through what he has. Ashish Joshi, Sky News, Coventry.
Well, the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine is the first to be approved by the UK's health regulator. But this week, fewer doses than expected arrived in the country. Two other vaccines from Moderna and the University of Oxford AstraZeneca are yet to get the go-ahead. Here's Adele Robinson now on why the government could miss its vaccination target.
The first batch of the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine has arrived in the UK, but with fewer doses than expected. The UK's ordered 40 million doses of the vaccine, which has to be kept super frozen. Otherwise, it will expire in 5 days. The government had said 10 million doses would be available for use by the end of the year, but now the government says only 800,000 will be available from next week. Because it has to be in 2 doses, that'll be enough for just 400,000 people. And those 2 doses will have to be given 3 weeks apart. So that's almost a month before just one person will have completed immunisation against COVID-19. Now, on top of that, the government is still waiting for approval by regulators for the other 2 advanced vaccines, one from Moderna and the other, the AstraZeneca Oxford University one. The Moderna vaccine must be stored at -20 degrees. However, it does remain stable at ordinary fridge temperatures for up to 30 days. The UK has ordered 7 million doses of it already, which is enough to vaccinate 3.5 million people because, again, 2 doses are needed. But the UK didn't directly invest in Moderna's research, and it's a US-funded initiative, so we're not at the front of the queue. It's also not expected to be rolled out before spring of next year. But the best hope yet might be the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine, which can be easily stored in a fridge. The UK has the biggest order yet, and only 1.5 doses are thought to be needed per person. But only 4 million of those will arrive by the end of the year if approval happens soon. Overall, the government wants to have immunised 44.3 million people, all the critical groups, plus anyone over the age of 18 who wants a jab by April 2021, which, given the current rate of supply with only one approved vaccine in the UK, is an uphill struggle.
Adele Robinson there. Well, another 16,298 people have tested positive for coronavirus in the UK. The latest figures show another 504 deaths within 28 days of a positive test. That brings the total number to 60,617. But across most of the country, the virus appears to be in retreat. The estimated R number for coronavirus falling to between 0.8 and 1, its lowest level since August. And new figures released by the Office for National Statistics suggest 1 in 105 people in England had the virus in the last week of November, a fall of 17.6% on the week before. However, in Wales, there is a different picture, although the virus is still less prevalent than the nation at large, with around 1 in 170 people infected, and that is up 10.4% on the previous week. The infection rate in Wales now significantly higher than anywhere else in the UK. So strict new measures were introduced yesterday to try to control the spread of the virus. As Becky Johnson reports now from Monmouth.
As the final pints were being poured before sales of alcohol in pubs, bars and restaurants in Wales were banned, the country's First Minister was giving a stark warning, explaining why tough restrictions are needed.
We are now experiencing
మన దేశంలో లక్షలాది మాతృమూర్తులు నమ్మేది గోల్డ్ విన్నర్ విత్ విటమిన్ D3.
గోల్డ్ విన్నర్ ఇండియాలో విటమిన్ D3 గల ఏకైక వంట నూనె.
కవిత చెప్తే కరెక్ట్.
సరసమైన ధరతో ఉత్తమ నాణ్యతను అందించి న్యూ సబ్మర్సిబుల్ పంప్స్ అండ్ పైప్స్.
వీటిపై మాకుంది విశ్వాసం.
బర్జర్ యాంటీ డస్ట్ పెయింట్. దీని డస్ట్ గార్డ్ టెక్నాలజీ గోడలపై దుమ్మును నిలువనివ్వదు. ఇంటిపైకి వచ్చే దుమ్ము ఇక నిలవలేదు. బర్జర్ యాంటీ డస్ట్ పెయింట్. బర్జర్ యాంటీ డస్ట్ పెయింట్.
ఏదో ఇట్టే అలా నేనుగా అవలేను.